All right, so some books for the preparedness-minded individuals. The list would go on forever of what books you should have. The more you have, the better prepared you are. Especially like reference materials and things like that. You could really never have enough. And this is assuming like the grid is down or the internet is down for long periods, or, you know, just being prepared for, I guess, the end of the world as you know it. Having books would be super important for mindset, morale, and just referencing how to do shit. But just a few that I have here right now. I'll just go over them real quick. You tell me what you think about them. You tell me if there's some must-haves that you recommend. Whatever. I'm just gonna. This is the Warrior Skills Level 1, Department of the Army. I don't know if they even sell this. They probably do. It's just like an infantry handbook, I guess. Most of this stuff you probably will never need or never use. You know, if you happen to come up on some frag grenades, tells you about them. It's got like hand signals, land nav, map reading, just a bunch of stuff you'll never use, but some interesting things that may actually be useful in here. But it's just something I have. Yeah, checking a casualty for signs of symptoms of shock. There are some important things in here, but there's a lot of things that, like I said, you'll probably never use. But it's a cool little reference guide that I have. But that's one to have for the end of the world. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's his journal to himself, essentially. Stoic philosophy has been getting more and more popular. I've been into it for a little while. I'm not a freaking professor on it, but I've read enough of it and studied enough of it to really appreciate it. But it's a lot of things in here about how to keep your head on straight. So like in a very stressful situation, you know, reading about a guy who is going through the plague and people starving and war, and how he kept his head on straight and how he looked at things. I think that's pretty important to have a reference just for your mindset in a really bad situation. Because, you know, if there was ever a grid down or internet down long term, it's a really fucked scenario. And it'd be good to know that other people throughout history have been in really fucked up scenarios, and they made it through, and the right mindsets to get you through. So that's one. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Never Split the Difference. This was gifted to me by a friend, Chris Voss. I guess he was a FBI negotiator, hostage negotiator, and it's basically about negotiation, and it's pretty good. I haven't read the whole thing, but different techniques on how to de-escalate situations or get what you want out of situations. It's got a lot of stories and examples and tactics that were used, and you know, in a really crazy situation. Sorry, I'm kind of sick right now. The NyQuil is probably going to be kicking in as this is going on, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, knowing how to negotiate and deal with people, how to win friends and influence people, is another great book. Some of these are just good for life in general, not just preparedness, but I'm thinking like these are really important things to know. You want to know how to negotiate, how to trade with people, how to deal with people, especially hostile people. So never split the difference. Negotiating as if your life depends on it. So that's one. Robert Greene, of course, everybody knows Robert Greene. I love this one, The 33 Strategies of War. This one's just badass. It just gives different examples of different strategies, obviously, and that were used throughout history by conquerors and generals, and it gives really good scenarios about how they used certain techniques and strategies to defeat the enemy. And it's really it really opens your mind if you don't know about this type of stuff. I don't know if there's an example I could just go through. Yeah, it comes in two parts, self-directed warfare. Then it's got like guerrilla warfare. It's got different things about seem unpredictable and irrational, play on people's natural paranoia, establish a frightening reputation, surprise with a bold maneuver. It's just a badass book. I'm not going to give a full review on it right now, but it's one of my favorites. Know and understand. So when the Red October comes and the paratroopers come in and whatever the hell else you think might happen, you and some buddies, you and your group going over this, you'll understand more about how wars and battles have played out throughout history and how the greats have won them. And then along with Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. I'm sure most people have come across this and seen this. This is a great one just for life in general. Not that you're going to be manipulating people, because some people would use it for that, but you can see how other people try and manipulate you, or see different things people use in this that they don't even know they're using. That's just how they are. But you'll read it in here, you'll be like, oh, so-and-so at the office, they do that. Or I do that. Or this asshole did that to me. And it's got just different ways that people acquire and use power. And it's a very broad subject, but this goes into historical periods of how it's been used in different ways. It's been used. So it's classic for a reason. It's actually really good. I gotta go through it again, but more for your like tactical applications, real world reference. The Guerrilla's Guide to Baofeng Radio. A lot of people in the preparedness community, they have your ham radio, your exact Baofeng, whatever you call the Chinesium radio. I have one, or a couple of them. This is cool because, well, what I have in here is I printed out a full user manual of that radio, because I know a little bit of how to work the basics. I have to brush up on it, but I'm just like, you know what, if anything ever happened when you need it the most, I want something on paper to reference how this damn thing works. So I'm not here pressing buttons and wasting all the time in the world. I had it for 100 years on my own and not figure out everything. So I keep a printed out manual to that radio, but this one is basically talking about everything about the radio that you would need to know. Talks about how guerrilla forces around the world, warlords, and different forces with like less capacity than a full military have been able to use these very effectively. This is something I got to study more for sure, but it goes over all the basics to understand, like frequency ranges for military ground communications. Some of this could be outdated, of course, but so US and NATO, 30 to 88 megahertz. Russia, China, Venezuela, 30 to 108 megahertz. It gets kind of nerdy in there, but it keeps it simple to, I mean, look how thick it is. It keeps it simple in here. But yeah, it's cool to have, because without comms you're fucked, which I should take. I mean, even not even just if you're trying to be a guerrilla warfighter, but to know how to use it if your family member's got a radio on the other side of town or whatever, then you guys have a plan and have some knowledge on how to communicate with each other in an intelligent way. So that's a good reference manual to have if you have those radios, which many of you watching this probably have those radios. So it's good to just keep on the background. This one I think is a must-have. Survival Medicine Handbook. It's so thick, I mean, you can beat someone over the head with this. But another one too that I want to get, which I think is really important, is I forgot the exact name of it. It's like A World Without a Dentist or something like that. It's basically a reference guide like this, but all dental stuff, because as you may or may not know, that if shit starts going wrong in your mouth with your teeth, it can cause some serious fucking problems that'll put you out of commission, maybe even kill you eventually. But that's another book that I want to get. This reminded me of it. But I'm talking about pretty much everything. I mean, you're not going to be a doctor with this thing, but treating a stroke, identifying a stroke, different headaches, different reasons why. This is just going through and talks about different drugs, over the counter, hypothermia, temperature regulation, different plant medicines, herbs, and what they're used for. It's got a lot of stuff. Hurricane survival, flood survival, earthquake survival, food and water, stay alive in the water, radiation, biological, chemical, radiation exposure, radiation sickness. It goes all the way down to STDs, which I know you guys have, whoever's watching this. You have plenty of those, so you might need this. Pubic lice. That's nice. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but scabies. It's got all gallstones, cholesterol, the heart. It's got a little bit of dental. It's just a really cool reference guide to have. So if everything was out and somebody had a problem, maybe you could find some tips in here to help. It's even got mental health stuff, pregnancy stuff, treating a gunshot wound. yeah, so I think this is definitely one of the best things you can have if you're a preparedness minded individual. So, Survival Medicine Handbook. And then, of course, this is the number one book you should have. Yes, that is the Holy Bible. I'm not on here to preach or anything, or try to put you on to faith, but haven't been very good following the path. But if I could only have one book, it would be this one, because everything eventually in life is found in here at some capacity. Whether you're a literalist, you believe it literally, or whether you believe it metaphorically, or whatever, anything you're going through in life, somewhere in there is an answer. It's been around for thousands of years, so there's something to it. But anyways, that's just a few of good books to have on hand. I'm definitely going to add to this. I have more books at another location. You want some for entertainment as well, I believe, but who knows? It's all situational dependent. But anyways, before this NyQuil kicks in, I'm gonna get out of here. So let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one.